Have you ever wanted to sail around the world but don't know anything about sailing? Well, that was us just a short time ago, so sail along with us and learn from our mistakes. We spent 2 years fixing up an old catamaran, and in just 10 months we've sailed up to Alaska and all the way down to Panama while fixing the boat along the way. We're out here making our dreams come true with our new crew member Coconut, who we found abandoned on a small island. This trip has already been a life-changing experience, so hit subscribe and join us as we sail around the world on this massive adventure. I can't stop smiling.
This is not as stable as we want it to be, the Starlink holder. So what I've done is I've put an eye bolt in here and another one back here, and then just attached, what is it called again?
A turnbuckle.
A turnbuckle. I've attached a turnbuckle and then spliced a Dyneema loop here, so it like holds it. And I have another one on the other side. I've just done this Dyneema loop. I did it wrong like 5 times. You have to splice it in here.
Into the
eye of the turnbuckle. So it's kind of embarrassing.
Because you didn't do it the first time, you just made a loop.
Well, yeah, I just made a loop and then I couldn't put it on the turnbuckle. So we have some shackles that are already attached up here. And so in theory, this should work, and hopefully I didn't make it too long.
You made it too short. That was the other thing you did. So made the Dyneema loop too short.
Tell everyone every time I screw up.
Gotta say, they can learn from your mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Made it too short the first time, so it couldn't reach the turnbuckle. Then did the loop perfect the next time, but not through the hole in the turnbuckle.
Yeah, there's been some errors. Oh, it could have been a hair shorter, but that's okay.
Looking good.
Whew.
How's it feel? Stable?
Yeah, it feels good. Feels great. So we'll call that job done. Eventually I want to turn it and put it on the other side and drop the dish a bit lower down. So it's like on the same level as this, but on the back side, so it doesn't really interfere with the solar as much. But this will be good for now.
Yeah, we only just thought of that kind of after we put it in.
Yeah,
so that'll be the third spot. So this is why we did it in a temporary fashion, because each spot we've put it, we've decided maybe a different spot's better. So this one's going to be for now though.
Yeah, and at least the rain is starting.
Oh, why is that a good thing?
I don't know. Okay, let's go inside.
Yeah. So it has started raining quite a bit, and it's been raining on and off for weeks now really, just in, you know, the afternoons or storms, lightning, everything like that. So it's been really hard to do any washing. So I took the opportunity while we're at the marina with free water and electricity to do heaps of loads of washing. But because it rained so much outside, I've hung up all these lines inside, and with the air con doing like dehumidifying, they're actually drying really well. But our hulls are lined with washing, the saloon is full of washing, the other hull, in the cockpit, just everywhere. Anyway, we have got a bunch of jobs done, but we only got the solar panels this morning, so we haven't attached them to the boat, and we need it to be dry to do that. So we're waiting to do that before we leave the marina, so hopefully tomorrow.
Hey Cokes, can I have a little pat? Oh, you're such a cutie.
Well, it gives me no pleasure in doing this, because this has been a very trusty and faithful Starlink mount ever since Alaska, but it's time to go.
No.
Pull this off so I'm ready. Ooh, real sticky.
How loose was it? Like, can you just rip it off? See? It takes a Herculean effort to even budge it. We should have left it.
We should have. This is gonna be hard to come off. Aww.
Done.
Easy as that.
Lots of space to walk around today.
Yeah, looks great. Still room for the bean bags and the trampolines, that's the main thing.
When I picked up the solar panels, I picked up these clips as well. We're just gonna put them on the corners like that. And we're gonna make sure that they go right on the corners so no rope can get under and like pick up the solar panel. So we just have to make a couple modifications to these clips, and we should be able to just drill them on, and we're planning to glue them to the deck, and we'll see how that goes. But let's cut these up. All right, all done. I'm not exhausted at all, and it's not that hot at all. So we're gonna go back to the boat and install these. I lied, it's hot, I'm exhausted, but let's go. We got everything drilled. All these have all the holes in them and everything. We decided against the gluing, and we're gonna put Heli-coils in. If you don't know what Heli-coils are, I'm not good enough to explain them, but you'll see in like a minute or two. So we're gonna pack up for the night.
So you can see this thing on this side. We were just about to leave the dock. We're getting everything ready. I was just checking over everything to make sure everything's good. And this on the other side of this little pin was missing. I found it just on the deck here.
So that can just pull out?
Yeah, see?
And then that means...
And then this would just
block,
fall.
Yeah, this block right here, this sheath would just fall out then.
Yeah, so glad we found it, but obviously it hasn't worked very well. So I'm gonna put it back in just for right now, and then we need to figure out a way to stop that from happening in the future.
Yeah, good catch. High five.
Thank you.
So you might be able to tell that we're still in the marina. We failed to get out last night, and then we had a bit of a night with Dietmar and Suzanne from Panama Posse and Ocean Posse. So, whew, man, it's a bit of a rough start to today, but we're just bolting down the solar panels now. So we have these little clips that we made, so we're just, I can't even speak.
It was a great night, to say the least.
Yeah, so we're gonna put the thing through the thing and bolt it to here. But I gotta drill a hole first, and then going to the deck, we're gonna bolt it to the deck. And in order to do that, we need to put something called a Heli-coil in the deck. So we gotta drill a hole, fill it with pure fiberglass, and some like resin and stuff like that, and then drill another hole into that. And yeah, you'll see.
Yeah, we'll just show instead of tell, because I don't think we're good at explaining at this point in time.
And then as soon as I've drilled a little bit, I remove this. And then this drill hole isn't big enough for the bolts, so you just move the drill around a little bit. And in case you're saying you should be using the drill bit that's the right size, I was, and I broke it. My bad. So this will have to do until we get a replacement drill bit. And you just put the bolt through the hole, and then repeat. And that's what it's going to look like. And then it's going to be bolted down to the deck.
And so this was a change of plan from our original plan was of like gluing them down.
Yeah,
basically.
we were originally going to glue them, but if we glue them, then we have no way of taking them off. And so now we're going to put the Heli-coils in, which we haven't done before. So yeah, kind of nervous, I'm not going to lie.
So today's the hottest day we've had in a long while, and the aircon's kind of struggling to keep the boat cool. We're still plugged into shore power, we're still at the marina, we're doing all the solar panels, the last few things hopefully, and we'll be able to kick off this afternoon. But for the moment, I'm trying to keep Coco as cool as she can. And so I've made a little platform to sit right in front of the aircon, and I think she's loving it. Hey? Yeah. She's been sitting there for quite a while and looks like she's enjoying it. She's a bit curious of this camera though, aren't ya? Hey? Nice breeze, you're getting right in front of the aircon? So we just had another huge rainstorm. It keeps kind of stopping us from a bunch of the work we've been doing, and now we're kind of probably going to be stuck here for another day. So we couldn't do the fiberglassing that we wanted to do up on the deck because it's all wet. And we've just decided we're going to get stuck on the dock if we don't just leave. So we're doing now tonight anything that absolutely must be done before we get off the dock, and then we're leaving tomorrow. So one of those things is rewiring the solar panels, because we had taken them off so that we could shut the door for the aircon, so they're not even attached, and then we'd leave the dock and have no power. So at the very least we got to reattach our original solar panels. So we did have a cable gland over there.
So that thing you're holding in your hand
is a cable gland. It allows wires to kind of go into the deck and then tighten down onto this bit so that water can't get through.
So that's like a rubberized bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
and then where was it mounted before?
Over here.
You can see the holes.
So we've taken that off and moved the faceplate to down here, and then basically you put the wires through, then put this on and tighten down the bolts, and then it's waterproof.
All right, so let's put the wires through and then tighten down the bolts and then make it waterproof and then go to sleep.
We've done a lot, but also everything just takes a long time. As just with every job, something goes wrong and it takes longer than you expect. So I think we just need to leave, so at the very least we're not paying for a marina while things are going wrong.
Yeah, and we can't like jump in and swim here, which is terrible.
Yeah. Alright.
So those just go through, there's already holes in there you drilled?
Yep. So just 2 holes where these cords are going to go through, and then the faceplate on, and then...
And the faceplate has like a waterproof thing, so the faceplate is like drilled on and there's like a rubber thing behind it, so it doesn't leak.
So I've run the wires pretty much through, you can see them in the bedroom there, but I really should have put this cable guard on first, it would have been easier. So now I'm just going along and doing that now. 10
minutes later.
So I might have needed Darcy's stretchy arms, but we eventually got the cable zip tied up to the dinghy davit.
Look at how nice that is.
Much better than before.
And it will be even nicer at some point.
Just got to get it done. So the last thing is to compress the rubber in this gland to make it all watertight, and you just do that by tightening on the bolts.
And so when you compress the rubber, it squeezes around the wires. So you're just screwing that onto the faceplate.
Yeah. So pretty much done now for the outside. Just finish up putting this covering on, and then obviously we've got to attach it all inside.
Yay. I don't know why I'm upset. You're the one doing it, so.
You're the one having to sit here and watch.
All right, we've marked out all the holes, and we're gonna jump ahead and do this because we fell asleep last night instead of finishing Yvette's job with the back solar panels. So it looks like it's gonna rain again today, so we're gonna do this quick. So we marked out all the holes. So I just pull this off and drill, and then we're gonna fill with fiberglass and drill again. All right, all done. And really good thing about it is everywhere we drilled was dry. So the deck, at least in the 8 spots we drilled, is dry. Bad part is I think I just felt a raindrop.
2 inspectors.
Yeah. We got Coconut watching. We got Brian on Dark Horse watching. Got me watching. Everyone's watching.
There's a potential that we might have a solution for the worst problem on the boat, and that is these leak terribly, so much so that we can get like a liter of water in like a 1 hour rain through them.
If we put a bucket down in the saloon.
And if we don't put a bucket down in the saloon, then we get a liter of water not in the bucket, somewhere in the saloon. So we might be able to have a solution for those, and then a couple other things. If you don't have a 3D printer on your boat, it's okay. What you gotta do is you gotta find yourself a Brian, right? And then he has the 3D printer and is also the nicest human being on this planet. And that's good for beer. Which is a lie, because he's barely accepted any beer.
In fact, he buys us beer.
So, it's true. So depending on where you are in the world, find yourself a Brian. We find they're usually in like a Beneteau 42, 44, 49, my bad, 49. And guaranteed they have a 3D printer on board and know exactly what they're doing. So just do that. So we drilled all 8 of the holes, and it
filled them with fiberglass.
Yeah, filled them with fiberglass.
Waited for them to dry.
Did everything, but we just didn't drill the initial holes big enough. So some of we can still see some balsa core when we drilled in to put the Heli-coil in. So now we have to drill bigger holes, and I'm just done screwing around here. So I'm just gonna, it's like 1.25 inches or whatever. I'm gonna drill 1.25 inch hole, then fiberglass it all properly so there's 0 chance of any leaks, and then we're gonna do that. And I think we still have a little bit of time before it starts raining for the afternoon, so might as well get started. I don't feel good about this.
No, neither do I.
So I don't want to get any air bubbles in this, because that was part of the problem last time. So I'm pouring it in the middle and then just letting it go to the edges.
All right, that should dry or kick or whatever in minutes.
Yeah, because it's boiling hot, so we're just going to do 1 and test it out rather than do all 8 again.
Yeah, less failure equals more success.
Yeah.
We tried pouring in like epoxy with some filler in the epoxy, but it seems like foamy almost.
Kind of flaky.
Yeah, so we're just gonna, now we've drilled another hole in our hole that we've already filled, and we're gonna try and fill it with just epoxy without any filler. And I don't think it'll be too brittle because it's a smaller hole now, but we'll see if it works. So we're just gonna let this kick now, and hopefully it's better.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time we've made this hole.
3rd time's a charm.
Yeah. So the reason the other one was too flaky was like when you were trying to put the Heli-coil in, it was kind of just, you could basically pull the Heli-coil straight back out.
Yeah, you could just pull it out. These are our mounting blocks, and they look fantastic.
Hot off the press.
They're not edible. They're not edible.
They look delicious though.
They do.
They like black licorice.
So this is all of them. I thought these were going to take forever.
Wow.
They took almost 3 hours. So the backside, that make sure you wash that. This is glue stick.
Okay.
Water soluble, so wash that off before you try to glue them on.
And then rough the bottoms up a hair.
What's that?
And then rough the bottoms up a hair.
Yeah. That usually helps. Should be 16 of them. I think it should be 17 actually. Is that enough?
Yeah. It's just so there wouldn't be like stub toes and and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's been raining again today, but instead of getting stuck at the marina for another day, we're just doing as much as we can here under the hard top and with the full surround down. So I've glued on these X crosses, which are going to give more support to the solar panels. They're semi-rigid solar panels, so they don't need much support in the middle. They're not fully flexible or anything like that. So these are those 3D printed X's, and I've just glued them on with this little tube of really strong glue. I think something like T-Rex glue or something like that. We just had a little bit of it left, so I've glued those ones on. And then on the corners we've put these 3D printed corner pieces, not glued, they're just like screwed in, and the screw hole was made by the 3D printer, like to the perfect size. So I was saying it's totally incredible. We're loving this.
It blew our fragile little minds.
Yeah, it totally blew our minds. Anyway, we've got this ready, so as soon as it stops raining this time, it seems to just kind of be squalls that come through. We will dry the patches out and start getting ready to mount them all.
All of them, all at once with one tube of glue.
Yeah, we've got this one big tube of glue left, so we want to have everything ready to go and do it all in one go, hopefully with no rain.
I have a question.
Yes?
What's a clube of glue?
Oh, shush you.
Okay, starboard first.
All right, time to get going. Nice. Only finally getting going now. It is dusk. And I don't know if you know this saying, but cowboys that ride off into the sunset make camp just outside of town. And that's going to be us. We're just leaving the marina and parking the boat, anchoring just outside the marina where all the big ships exiting or waiting to go into the Panama Canal are. But it's time for us to leave.
I always feel like I forget how to drive after like 2 seconds of not driving. Back's clear?
Back's clear. And check out the other boat. Pretty close to them, but plenty of space. And it is just starting to rain again.
Okay, 10-4. Thank you very much, Shelter Bay Marina.
I'm around the mini market. Do you need some help with the lines?
Negative. We are already off the dock and almost out of the marina.
Copy that, Supernova. Have a nice trip and see you next time, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in about 3 weeks.
Alright, we are finally getting out of here. Not going far, but at least we won't be paying marina fees anymore. Can get Coconut a bit more used to being out at anchor again and get some more boat work done, and then we'll be back heading to San Blas and Paradise.
Woohoo! I'm really happy every time we have like, when we've already been in somewhere, we have a track on GPS map to follow out of it.
Yeah, it makes it much less intimidating leaving somewhere. Because we did see quite a few sunken boats on the way in here. And that is Cologne and a bunch of ships that you can see. Big tankers. That dark patch there is a big tanker. Probably just left the Panama Canal. in between a bunch of rain showers today, we've got all the solar panels in place. We just need to glue them down now. But there's one last thing. This is the world's smallest, thinnest locker on a boat ever. I think it's for a coiled up rope. That's what we were told anyway. But it's the most annoying thing on the boat. It basically just fills up with water, and then if you step on it, water squirts everywhere. It's super annoying. So I want to get rid of it. And we just thought the simplest way, which hopefully will work, is just to Sikaflex down the lid. So that's what we're going to do now. Just got some white Sikaflex here. Alright. Alright, the Sikaflex is in, and hopefully this annoying thing never ever comes off again. So these are the wires that we bought in Linton Bay the other week, that boat shop there, just at the anchorage that we dinghied into. And we're going to clip them in now because we won't have easy access to underneath the solar panel once we glue it down.
And that's all it is.
Yeah, easy.
Solar connection done.
Next we're putting these awesome 3D printed clips into place, and I'm just putting painter's tape around them so we don't get glue all over the deck. Well, that's the idea anyway.
This is T-Rex Extreme by Sudal, and it's actually a cycling team that we like.
Sudal, quick step.
and then these are the clips that we're gonna put on. So we're gonna just lift this up while keeping it in place and put a splash of whatever this stuff is underneath. No, it's more than a splash. And then just kind of, I don't know, I guess this is probably better than doing the clip.
Yeah.
Ooh, this stuff is no joke.
Yeah, that's hardly budging. You better put some pressure on that. Alright, now we just got to do that 100 more times.
That's one done. And we were gonna rip up the tape, but now I'm thinking we might just use an X-Acto knife and cut it off.
So, just to orient us, I don't know if you can see the bridge there, but that's the bridge to go under the Panama Canal. There's a bunch of boats, massive boats here waiting. And we're going over to this, there's only one other sailboat here, one catamaran, and we're going over to them for dessert tonight. They invited us, but otherwise everyone's in the marina.
Clip, please. Thank you. Alright, there's Captain Coco inspecting her new solar panels.
I think she looks pretty happy with them. We've been hard at work all day. Well, you've been snoozing inside, resting up, hoping she's getting some aircon soon. What do you reckon, Cokes? What do you reckon, little coconut?
Oh, she's such a little cutie. Oh, the scritches. The scritches! She's been eating lots. She's been doing everything lots, sleeping lots, getting fat lots, which is good. Look at this tummy. Look at this tummy!
Getting used to boat life.
Yeah, we're super excited that she's just eating all the food we're giving her.
Yeah, she's loving it.
Yeah. All right, Captain Coco needs to nap again.
Okay, up we go.
Oh, there's a bird.
Oh, what do you see? What do you see?
this is another 3D printed item that Brian printed for us and designed and everything. And so it's gonna be a waterproof box, but we have to drill a hole in here for the solar panel wires to get through here. So this box has a total of 8 openings, 4 on each side, that can be just punched out using, here, come here, I'll show you. So this right here just gets punched out like that. And then you can put a wire through there, but we have like a special gland that makes the wire waterproof that goes on here. So, but it just punches out, just like a regular factory.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the box is like custom designed and
yeah, fits right in here.
Yeah, you'd never be able to buy something perfect like this.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So we are going to mark it out right now, and then I'm going to do my best to drill an accurate hole. This drill bit has like it's like a diamond kind of drill bit, like diamond powder or paste or something like that. And it doesn't have, like, it's hard to get it to start drilling straight. So what I've been told to do is to like edge in, so start drilling with the edge first, and then when you get it kind of where you want, then you turn up and drill. So let's see if that works. I mean, it should work, it better work. Bit off where I want it to be. Boom, right there. Guess we need to stick it down first.
And so this is where all the wires from our solar panels up here are going to go through and into the deck.
There's 4 up here. Well, I mean, I guess you just saw. there's 5 in total up here. 4 big ones, 1 small one.
Opposite to that.
Yeah.
4 small ones, 1 big one.
Oh yeah, 4 small ones, 1. That's what I said, isn't it?
No, we've got it on tape.
No, I'm guilty. This is a second waterproof box, and I gotta take this off really slowly. It's got a special design on it, and it's like a turtle shell. So the turtle shell isn't waterproof fully, but it just stops like the bigger splashes. And then this part of the box here is the waterproof part. And I gotta do the same thing here. All done. This is the first hole that I drilled, and it's all fiberglass. And this deck has a coring material, it's balsa cord. So this is how thick the deck is from the end of the screwdriver to here compared to that. So because this is balsa cord, we are going to have to put some fiberglass in here to make sure that the balsa cord doesn't get exposed to any water or anything like that. We've pulled everything out of the anchor locker. The anchor locker actually connects to the chain locker. So to fiberglass this hole we've just made to fill in so we protect the balsa core, we're gonna use this bucket lid. And one of us needs to get into this tiny hole to hold the bucket lid over the even smaller hole that we drilled.
Oh, well, this didn't end up how I was hoping.
You're doing great.
It's hardly any room.
We're not sure why the other day it foamed. 2, 3. We're not sure why it foamed the other day, and we're hoping it doesn't do the same today. So I don't think it's because it's old. Like, it's about a year old. The the epoxy. So it should still be within date. It's got to be something we're doing. But we have the pumps and everything, so it mixes correctly every time. I'm supposed to mix this for like a minute.
And then this is the filler, right? The thickener.
Yeah, filler, thickener. I'm not sure what exactly you'd call it.
It's just like a powder.
And so we want it like the consistency of peanut butter. So it just sticks and stays. Right now, it would just run if we tried to fill the hole.
Yeah, so we have to put the thickener in so that when we put it in the hole, it doesn't just drop down onto my bucket lid.
So I can already feel this getting warm. So I'm gonna try and like spread it out around the lid around the cup as I go up to make it as thin as possible. Because when it's a lot of epoxy in the same place, it kicks really soon. So we gotta go. Okay, you see this?
Yeah.
Put the bucket here.
Yeah, yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. And it should only take like 15 minutes for that to kick. So, because the stuff in the glass is kicking.
I don't know why it didn't foam this time.
I don't know. Not a clue. This is the fiberglass in the cup, and actually it did foam after we left it. And I'm not sure why, but it like turns into a little kind of foam. It's still hard. And luckily in here where we filled did not foam at all. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is for that, but maybe we've got to try and figure it out later. But anyway,
because it gets, when it's like foam, it kind of fills with bubbles. Like
yeah,
bubbles up.
and then it's probably really weak.
Yeah.
But this is all good in here. And we've sanded the bottom of the boxes, and so we're just gonna sand this to make sure there's no edges after we fiberglass that will affect the wires or anything like that. This acetone just cleans up the surface, get all the dust and everything off, so we will have maximum adhesion.
I've marked out the box with tape, and now I'm just going to Sikaflex it down. We ran out of the other hectic strong T-Rex glue, but I think Sikaflex should be fine.
Oh, more than fine.
Yeah. There won't be as much like lifting pressure on this as if wind got under the solar panels. We wanted them to be stuck down really well. Ooh, that's almost all of it.
Don't move.
The box for this solar panel is done now. We just got to wait for the Sikaflex to dry. So we'll move on to the box up there. Alright, this is the last box. I'm so happy we're almost done.
But we still have to do all of the wiring.
Yeah. Minor point.
No shakes. Focus. Focus. Good job.
Yay. I'm gonna squish it a bit more.
Yeah, press it a bunch.
Now we just gotta wait for all that Sikaflex to dry and we can start doing the wires.
Yeah, maybe it'll take like a couple hours before we can work on it.
Yeah. So we finally get these plugged in.
Yeah, we're kind of racing here to get the box wired in because there's a big storm coming. At least it looks like it's coming.
Oh, it definitely is coming this way.
It's not 100% dry yet, so I have to be like really careful that I don't move it.
The Sikaflex?
Yeah. It's actually starting to look like it's supposed to be here.
That looks awesome. There's some big ships out there today that have come through the canal and they're just anchored there.
All right, doing this again. I had it the wrong way. I had the wires going over top of these wires. Second time's a charm? Or is that third time?
Usually it's about 10th time for us.
I did it out of order.
Oh, so it is another time. Alright, so third time for sure.
I'm gonna try and cut around the hole where the Sikaflex squeezed out. I probably should have done that before I put these cables in.
Probably or definitely. Show me the hole. Yeah.
Whoa. There's gonna be quite a bit.
Okay.
Coco doesn't want us to go outside and finish doing the solar panels. She wants us to stay in and cuddle with her. She's such a sleepy kitty today.
No. Okay. Oh. Chin scratchy.
The chin scritchy. She's all about the chin scritchies. Boop.
We were so glad to get our solar panels installed this week and to give Coco some time to get used to being at anchor. We can't wait to get back to exploring and sailing next week. A huge thanks to everyone who watches and subscribes, and an extra special thanks to our patrons. If you want to see an extra full-length YouTube style video each week, then check out our Patreon.
And a huge thank you to Brian, who helped us out so much this week.